Hi, welcome to the Harvest Table. Today is Valentine's Day, and I want to share something a little bit different about love today. This this message, is not for those that are happily in love and in a relationship where their love is returned and all is well. This video is for people in a relationship where there is pain, there is heartache. There is brokenness. There's many questions and few answers. I got some scriptures I want to read, and then I'll share a little insight with you the Lord gave me today. And I do thank God that I'm always learning. It's amazing to me that the older I get, the more I realize there is to learn. The Lord is constantly teaching me, and today was no different. The first scripture we're going to share is Psalms 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. 1 John 4:19. We love because he first loved us. And Matthew 25, and beginning at verse 32. And before him shall he gather all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a sheep divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the shepherd on his right hand, he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say to them on his right hand, Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungered, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee hungry, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee a drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took you in, or naked, and clothed? Or when saw we that you were sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer, and say to them, Verily I say unto you, insomuch as you have done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren, you have done it unto me. I just really thank God for this verse. I thank God for all these verses I've read, but this one especially in Matthew today, because it really spoke to me. Love is different when your spouse is in a nursing home and you go see them, and you can't share the things you always love to share on Valentine's Day. And this year I just decided there's no point in getting him a card. He won't realize it's from me 5 minutes after I leave. It's just irrelevant. It's money that is wasted, really, because you like to give a card to someone who can treasure it, who will understand the message you chose, and it will mean something to them. And the same if you give other gifts. A person that has dementia can look at chocolates or look at candy and not even realize who gave it to him. I mean, yeah, I did give him some chocolates and he'll enjoy it, but he won't realize when he's eating that I brought them because it was Valentine's Day. That thought won't enter his mind. And that hurts me. That crushes me. A broken heart and a crushed spirit is something the Lord recognizes. And not only does he recognize it, but it makes him draw you closer to him. You have a special place in God's heart. And I'm thankful for that today, because it's a very lonely life when you're separated from your spouse in a way you don't want to be. And even when someone close cannot reciprocate our love, God's love remains constant and unshakable. So remind yourself of that today. Our spouse may not be able to love us like they once did. In their heart, yes, they love us, but they can't communicate that love anymore. They can't go out and buy flowers. My husband always took so much joy in buying me flowers, and For a long time, he called me his daffodil. We love daffodils. And he would just take so much joy in bringing me those daffodils in the springtime. There's so many things that he used to do for me that he can't do anymore. But you know what? I keep loving him. I keep going to see him. I took him one of his favorite milkshakes today, and I know he enjoyed that, but will he remember that tonight or tomorrow? No. But he enjoyed it for the moment, and so I enjoyed it too. But you know, the scripture in Matthew, God revealed something new to me today, and that, well, not new, but in a deeper way, he revealed it to me. I'll say it like that. And in this passage of scripture, he's saying if you just give someone a cup of water or something to eat, or you visit the sick or those that are in prison, when you're doing that to that person, it's like you're doing it for God. And that is so true. But what really struck me about this scripture today that I had never thought about it when I was reading this before is the fact that love must be tangible. You must be able to love in a way that meets the need. It must be something tangible. You can't just say to a person, I love you, and expect them to believe it. There's action words here. You're feeding someone. You're going to visit them. You're giving them a drink of water. All those things are actions that we must take. And that's the thing that really struck me today. Is our love tangible? Or is it just something on a greeting card that, you pay money for the card and somebody reads it and sets it on a shelf, but it really doesn't have an effect on a person. But if someone is thirsty and you give them a drink, that really has an effect on them, doesn't it? If you've went all day without eating and you come home and there's a wonderful, first of all, when you walk in the house and it smells so good because food has been cooking in the oven, and you walk in and there's a nice dinner waiting on the table for you, that just meets a need, doesn't it? It makes you not only feel good, but it makes you have physical strength again because you got food, you got nutrition for your body that was very much needed because you was tired from working all day. I know when we used to work in the fields and take a break for water, oh, that water was so heavenly, so divine, because it truly satisfied our thirst. And when we would go in for lunch or dinner, it was just perfect to have those hot biscuits and gravy and pork chops and fried potatoes, and everything that would be on the table was just so delicious and just met an immediate need of hunger and really a physical weakness because you labor out in the fields all day. You get hungry and your strength wears down as the day wears on. But when you can get a good meal, it revives you and it blesses you. And so the Lord is saying to us today, love in tangible ways. Don't just put meaningless cards on a table. Don't just put flowers in a vase and think that that's the answer. That might not be the answer at all. For many, many times, David has told me to make sure I order flowers for myself because he can't go in the store and order them. And for sometimes I have done that and sometimes not. But this year, I didn't want any flowers. Those flowers are meaningless. I mean, yeah, they're pretty, and there'll be a day coming when this snow is over and the ice storms are gone and spring is here that I will really enjoy having a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers on my table to represent the season, and it will give me joy. But just to have them today because it was Valentine's Day, no, that's meaningless to me. I don't need that and don't want that. But when I do get the flowers that represent spring and new life, I will enjoy that. And especially the ones I grow in my own garden when I can go out and cut roses or dahlias. Oh, I love that so much. So, in tangible ways, let us love one another. And I just want to finish with this thought today. No matter what your situation is, if your husband's in a nursing home, if your wife's in a nursing home, if they're on a breathing machine that's just barely keeping them alive, and you just feel like when you're in the room with them, it's not them that's really there, it's just a body, and it's only a matter of time before they go see the Lord. And you hold their hand, but it feels like it's not even their hand you're holding because they can't respond anymore. Just know that God's love is forever constant and unshakable for you. His love is never going to stop. Even when our life situation changes and our partner is really not our married partner anymore, it's just the person that we love and go to see and do the best we can for them, but really it's not a marriage like we had. It's not a relationship that we had before. It's just totally something different, and so many things have changed and gone. But God's love never changes. God's love never disappears, and God's love is what's going to lead us home. So try to understand today that the Lord is near. He loves you right where you are. You don't have to fake anything. You don't have to pretend something's true when it isn't. Just know that God's love is there for you. His love is there for me. And yes, tears are there. A crushed spirit sometimes is there. Heartaches are there. But God's love surpasses all of that. And I'm so glad for that today, because no matter how many times we fall, He'll be right there to pick us up again. So God bless you today. I hope you feel His presence today and thank Him for His everlasting love. See you next time.